Yes, yes.
Hey.
Hey, can you hi guys, welcome back to Sash Factor Facebook live chat series. This week is so special because it's my week-long birthday celebration.
Oh, happy
Yes,
birthday!
yes. Thank you, Rachel. And for our opening salvo, this week-long birthday celebration, I have just invited, and here she is live in front of you guys. Binibining Pilipinas Universe 2017 and future First Lady of Camarines Sur, the stunning and Vavavoom, Rachel Peters.
Oh,
Hi, Rachel.
hi guys. Hi everybody. And hi Adam.
So how have you been? First of all, can you greet all our followers here on Sash Factor? Kasi ang tagal ka na nilang hindi nakita eh.
I know. It's been a while. So I just want to say hi. I've been seeing a lot of a lot of people during quarantine have been posting a lot of throwbacks and things like that. So I see you guys and I see your messages, and I guess now is an opportunity for me to say hi. And I hope you're well and safe and staying happy and creative. And I hope that when this is all over, we can all get together properly again.
So, guys, in case you haven't noticed or in case you're not aware of what's happening in her life, Rachel here has just recently got engaged with her beau. Oh, look! Ilang carats yan? With with her boyfriend of so many years na, fiancé for so many years, Governor Miguel Villa Miguel Mix Villapuerte of Camarines Sur. So, Rachel, first question, kamusta ang buhay engaged, bagong engaged?
It's been really good. You know, Migs and I have been together in July. We're gonna be 6 years together, so that's a long time. And it's been amazing. Um, but then I feel like when you get engaged, it's like a fresh start again, like you're starting a new chapter together. And you know, the whole 5 years before that, we were both so busy. He had an election, I had Beanie Beanie, then Miss Universe, then he had another election. So once we got like all the stuff that we wanted to do out of the way, it was really nice to have something to celebrate all over again. Um, yeah, so it's been really good.
Alam niyo naman, I'm curious lang, how did you two meet?
Well, we actually met in 2014 here in Camsor because as I'm sure you know, but I did Miss World in 2014 and I represented Camsor. And so it was a big coincidence that my mom is from here. I came to an event that they were throwing in Camsor, which is like the annual fiesta. It's called Kaogma. So we met then, and then because Miss World was starting, I was coming here more. It just so happened that there was a typhoon that hit during the billeting of Miss World. And so I contacted him and said, like, hey, you know, is there anything that I can do to help as the Miss Camsur representative? And we kind of got to know each other during that time. Like I helped out with relief. And also it was an opportunity to come and check on my family too. So started from there, and I never knew it was going to be as serious as it ended up being. But everything happens for a reason.
Talaga? Was it love at first sight ba?
He says it was love at first sight. And he
So,
sticks to that word until now. So I guess so.
What are the qualities that you saw in him that made you say, oh, he could be the one? He could be the marrying type?
Well, it's a lot of things. I'm not going to go through the whole list, but I have to say the moment when I realized that I liked him was after we had already met and when we were already spending time doing relief. And I don't know, I guess what captured me initially is the way he can capture a crowd. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing. The way he speaks in public, he speaks from the heart, and he makes people happy, he makes people feel good. And I feel like, especially in today's world, that's something that's so important, someone who can bring positivity to everyone around them. And that's what he has always been like. And then obviously lots of other things as well.
Aren't
I don't
you
know.
aren't you glad that you're about to marry a hardworking politician?
Yes, of course. I mean,
Yeah, no, right,
it's
guys. For all those who haven't known yet, yeah, we're in a pandemic right now. Manila is still under um, modified enhanced community quarantine, but in Camarines Sur right now, it's already you guys are already under general community enhanced quarantine. Meaning to say, mababa na yung mga cases ng COVID nyo dyan sa lugar nyo,
yes,
right?
yes, that's correct. And
How are you? It's because of okay, okay.
it's because so Migs and I were in Manila when all of this stuff was starting. And so we knew, as with everything, like if it's happening in Manila, it's gonna spread. It's gonna happen in the provinces too. So from day one, when people started talking about COVID, like things started to happen already. Like they were setting up the hospital, they were setting up the borders. I think that probably is one of the most important things, is that they were really strict. Like all the borders to get into Kamsur, there were big I don't know. Yeah, basta they protected the
Uh,
borders, and I think it really paid off. They
so, how early was this? Mga January,
oh
February,
no, in March, I think, beginning of
March
March.
na rin.
Yeah. But it was good. They were able to catch it early, and I guess it shows in the number of cases that we have in Kamsur.
Wow. So, wala. Kami, we're still under modified enhanced quarantine, community quarantine.
Yeah, which I think is totally the right thing because
Yes, yes.
for the safety of everyone. And I know it's hard to stay in, and it gets, malungkot, but I mean, you have to do it.
Yeah, true. Pero aren't you glad that you guys how were you already both in Camarines Sur when President Duterte ordered the lockdown?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, it was a good thing at least to supervise everything.
Yeah.
So going back to Migs, so I recently read an article that you postponed your wedding in deference of what's happening right now.
Uh-huh.
So was it a conscious effort to do this because of what's happening right
Yes,
now?
it was. Actually, we decided to postpone the wedding quite early. Obviously, I had friends like Lauren, Miss Canada, Kyra, Miss
Mm-hmm.
USA. They were messaging like, "Hey, we're monitoring what's happening. Do you think it's safe?" And when they were messaging me about it, I was like, "Okay, you're overacting, blah blah blah." And then the more we thought about it, the more we discussed it and talked to our other friends about what they were feeling, we decided that rather than waiting to see what happens and everything happening last minute, like in March already, we decided, nah, it's not gonna happen. And it's a good thing we did, because I mean, it's past the date and we're still here.
Oh my God. So for sure after pandemic na yan, probably next year or 2022, depende talaga sa situation.
2022, oh my goodness.
Wala pang vaccine eh.
No, I mean, that's the thing. Like we were
That's
talking,
too long.
way too long. My goodness, we'll have a baby by then. Sana.
Oh my God, someone is so excited to have babies now. Oh my God, from crowns to babies, super wow.
It's crazy, no? Have you been following? Like, I mean, of course you've been following, but I'm just for the people who are watching, a few of the girls from my batch have been getting married, and
Yes,
yeah, it's amazing. So Demi
even
got
Demi.
Miss USA, Kyra. She just announced that she's pregnant. Bunga got married, and she also announced that she's pregnant. So I guess it's the right time.
So, when the wedding pushes through next year, talagang when na talaga eh, clean na as early as now eh. So, are you going to invite your pageant sisters to come over here?
Of course, of course.
Oh.
There were a few of the girls that were already going to be coming, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens because we can't really say when it's going to happen. But of course, they're invited. The girls that I was close to during Miss Universe are
Mm-hmm.
sisters for life. Like, not everyone can say that they went through this experience. And so I think it's a special bond where even though you don't talk all the time, even though you don't see each other for a year or two or more, you will always have that to bond over. So it's really nice.
Oh, it's so nice that you guys have developed such close-knit relationships, even during and after an intense competition, no? Talagang there's sisterhood talaga in pageantry.
Yes, for sure. And
So I'm curious, who's... Yeah, sige.
it's important that you create those bonds during Miss Universe, because if not, uh, it's really tough. Like, I don't know how I would have survived without like my group of girls.
Yeah, yung core, yeah, talaga the girls that you had bonded with during that time. So I'm curious, who's gonna dress you up for your wedding day? Is it gonna be Val Taguba pa rin?
Yes,
Or
Val was supposedly going to make me a dress. Like, we had met a couple times. We were actually gonna have two weddings.
oh,
Yeah.
isa
So,
may Manila reception siguro.
yeah, so we were gonna do one in Manila, and it was supposedly a big one, but obviously mass gatherings are not allowed, and so I don't know when that's gonna be okay to do again. But Val was dressing me up for the big wedding.
How did you and was Val also the one who... I'm curious. I haven't really made you subaybay nung 2014, but was it also Sir Val who dressed you up nung 2014 sa Miss World Philippines?
No, no, no. Actually, at the time, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I I think that they were the ones who provided the gowns
Ah, all right, all right.
during that year. It was still under Corey.
Ah, okay, I see. Okay, since you've talked about your pageant sisters, let's talk about your Miss Universe experience 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago. Ngayon ko lang talaga na-realize as I was searching you on YouTube, wala kang interview kay Tito Boy Abunda. Post
After,
Miss Universe, yeah.
yeah.
Napansin ko, lahat ng mga nagbabakasyon, I mean, kapag ang competition ng girls nasa abroad, nasa US specifically, hindi kayo umuuwi. Talagang sinusulat niyong magbakasyon de grande.
But you're all the way there na, you may as well. Dapat was Christmas pa.
Yeah, oo, nag crossovers. Did you stay there until Christmas time?
No. I stayed maybe like a week and a half longer, then I came back. And then quite soon after, I went to... Wait, what did I do?
Here, Kamsur.
No, I went to Phuket because my parents live in Thailand.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah,
Pero bakit
so
ganun? Parang we're so heartbroken na walang interview after. Parang so ito na yung pinaka closest to Boy Abunda interview. 3 years after the make.
review.
Na yeah, you know, alam mo naman, ikaw, I'm sure you get an idea of what we know of how you've been tagged on social media, on your social media accounts, na parang it's as if parang some of us, some Pinoy pageant fans couldn't still move on about what happened during your time during the finals. Super parang but anyway, going back to your pageant experience, nung Binibining Pilipinas, di ba, if I remember right, talaga you wore a very sexy flowy gown,
The
right?
orange one, yeah.
Yeah, the orange one. And for me, it's kind of iconic in the way because you were able to play around with it. Alam mo yon.
Mm-hmm.
Kaya feeling ko that was one of those things that really made you stand out and eventually win the Miss Universe titles. Ano yung fabric nung gown mo? Was it chiffon?
Honestly, I couldn't even tell you, but it was a very light fabric and it was layers of the skirt part.
Mm-hmm.
There was like a lighter layer under and then the darker orange. So
Mm-hmm.
when I did the twirl, kita, the colors underneath and the bright orange as well. But we
So
wanted
was
to
it Va- was
different.
so was it Val who dressed you up for that
Yes.
finals?
Yeah. It
So
was
was it your idea? Was it your gown idea to be dressed up like that? Na parang may slit, flowy, you can move around.
Yeah, well, the thing is, so Ton Lau was the one who introduced me. Ton and Mamang Brent were the ones who
Mm-hmm.
introduced me to Val. And what's funny is he, I never knew much about pageantry or designers or anything like that before Beanie Beanie. And so they introduced me to Val, and it turns out when they sent me the address, we're neighbors.
Oh, how
Out
convenient.
perfectly. I would walk to my fittings with Val, and I mean, I would walk over there, like the initial one, we would talk about it. We would like look in the mirror and discuss like what are the best features that we want to accentuate. And the slit was like for sure, we were gonna
Para
do a.
ma-emphasize yung long-leggedness mo.
Also, it's so hard to walk in a non-slit gown.
Ah, okay.
I mean, I'm
I
sure
see.
you've seen some
Kasi
girls.
I bring this up because you really stood out
Thank you.
during that time. Super talaga.
Thank
So now that now that you've passed over your crown, syempre there are still a lot of aspiring beauty queens who would probably want to follow your footsteps. So anong may papayo mo sa kanila for them to stand out um, in a pageant night?
you. Honestly, for me, it's really about just trying to enjoy it. Like, I'm the sort of person who stresses over the tiniest little details. Like, if one thing on my list of things to do gets pushed back, I'm stressed. And I think throughout the whole billeting, which is long, the it's 2 months,
Yeah.
it's so easy to get caught up in like the drama going on between the girls, or your dress isn't finished, or Sash Factor says someone else is number one, diba? Like there's so many things to worry about. And I that's one thing I regret, is that I let it get to me. So now, having been through the experience and realizing that, my advice to aspiring beauty queens is really like, it's a special opportunity to be part of a group of girls, especially Beanie Beanie, and you need to make the most of it, because it feels like it's forever. But then when one day you realize, oh my God, it's coronation tomorrow. Like, I'm gonna miss these girls. I wish I had more time to enjoy and make the most of it. So that's my advice. Just enjoy every moment of it, even though it's tiring, even though you're hungry, and even though you're stressed.
Yeah, I remember those times. Pero ikaw ba, were you surprised that you won the title? Or were you expecting to clinch the most coveted title of the pageant that year?
Honestly, I had no expectations of winning, just because I felt throughout the whole thing that I was the most inexperienced girl in that group. Like, we were with, I was with Marielle, I was with Dindy, all these girls who were the favorites to win, who had been in Beanie Beanie before and who had done many pageants before that. Whereas, like, I did Miss World and my Q&A was horrible. So already, like, going into the experience, I'm like, am I ready for this? Am I ready to put myself in this position again? So I did not expect to win, and that made the victory so much sweeter.
Sweeter. And
There's
by
a
the way, before we proceed, can I just give a shout out? Can you greet some of our followers and my friends as well who are tuned in right now? Na-miss ka nila masyado. Like si Rihanna Rigor, aka Tita Bella of Tita Pageantry, Titas of Pageantry. She's
oh
watching right now. Yeah. Say hi to Tita Bella.
hi Bella. I miss you guys. It's been so long.
Yeah, super and familiar faces. Even Alex Villano from Rappler is also watching.
Hi
Uh,
Alex.
yeah. So, uh, ako talaga I was really expecting you to win talaga. One of the titles. Pero nung nandoon ka na talaga, parang sabi ko lalo na when you were flipping your gown tapos nanalo ka. Tapos ang ganda pa ng the way you move, you presented yourself during the swimsuit competition. I knew she was bound to get far. Diba? So parang yeah, it was really meant for you. The title was really meant for you. I also Binibining Pilipinas PR head, bago na yung PR head nila si Sir Leroy is also watching.
Oh
Do you,
hi Sir Leroy.
do you miss even Sir Rogel is also watching.
Hi Mr. Raj. I miss you.
Yeah. Namimiss ka na daw niya.
Miss him too. How are you seeing this? Is there like a
No,
stream?
no, wait. You go to our Facebook page, Sash Factor, and then go to our live chat mismo. Yung once you open yung banner poster namin is the Alpha 4 Queens. Sina Zozy, yung Miss World, yung Miss Earth, and the Miss International title holder. Sa, can you see it's a logo yung namin. Can you see na? Have you?
I'm on.
Yeah. So hinaan mo yung volume para hindi mag-echo, and then you scroll down the comment section to see all the messages coming through.
This is my first time doing this.
Uh-huh. Ruby, mamaya na natin tanungin yung bet niya sa Miss Universe Philippines. Are you keeping tabs ba of are you still updated ba with anything about pageantry?
I'm not gonna lie, not so much.
Mm-hmm.
Just because there's so many things going on and there's so many pageants also. I feel like my mom is probably way more updated than me.
Talaga. Buti pa si mommy. De joke lang. Anyway, moving on. So speaking of Miss Universe, as we all know naman, the caliber of girls that we send to Miss Universe keeps on getting higher and higher.
Mhm.
Would parang ikaw, if you were given a chance to compete again, kunyari aspiring beauty queen ka at this time, would your pageant prep change if you were competing now?
The thing is, pageant prep is like such a wide scope. Like there's so much involved in pageant prep. I feel like with the KF trainers, Tita Raj, Mommy G, and everyone else, like they did everything they could. Like every spare moment that they could, it was, to help me. And there was also the makeup training and all those things. I just wish that I wasn't so stressed about everything. Again, like it's going back to that. I wish that, like, if I could do, especially now, like after seeing how Catriona prepared, like everything she did had a purpose. Everything she did had like a story behind it. And I think that that's wonderful. Like, why didn't I think of that, But I really worked my butt off. And I try to live a life without regrets. So I don't want to say that I have any regrets, but if I had put more thought into the things that I was doing rather than like thinking that I had to do it. I don't know if I'm like my words are making sense right now, but do you understand what I mean?
Yeah. I get you. Actually, may nag-ano na sa akin parang nag-fill in na sa'yo, nag-fill me in about you Parang, bakit ganito lang? Why she only settled for top 10? Parang we were trying to, kasi nga walang Boy Abunda interview, we were trying to get answers from you, but you were, you were busy hiding off somewhere else. So parang kami, what happened kaya with Rachel in the States? Ganyan. Tapos parang, since eto na nga, we're talking about it. So parang, looking back talaga, whose idea was it yung video profile mo na sinubmit sa Miss Universe?
Um, honestly, I I don't know. I feel like I probably should have, I mean, I definitely should have put more effort into that. But also, I just wanted to show myself, like I didn't want to say things that weren't true about myself because that's going to backfire. Like I want, especially in like a industry like pageantry, it's so important to be real. I think like it's I don't know how to say it properly, but like yeah, I feel like I wasn't aware of how important that video was. Like it was kind
Uh,
of, I was in Siargao and I was setting up the business and I asked someone there, I was like, hey, I need some videos. Can you like shoot me? Like, I just need videos for Miss Universe. And then I started seeing all the girls' videos. I was like, oh my God, intense. Like, I should have done that. I didn't know. But that's because I didn't do enough research, and that's my fault. And
I
I
see.
can't admit that.
Anyway, if you read naman all our comments right now, they have been saying, no, you gave us a good, Rafi Di Makulangan says, no, Rachel, you gave us a good fight last 2017.
Thank,
Jess Tolentino is also saying the same thing. I love her video package. I like how it shows who she is.
thank you.
Queen Rachel, you did awesome, Sir Leroy says.
Thank.
Diba? Ang daming defect. Kasi yun yung ano parang kasi we were analyzing parang bakit siya huminto sa top 10? Parang, was it really the gown or the video package? Yung parang, or was it the combination of both? Sorry kung nire-rehash ko na yung past kasi it's the only time na parang we I get this opportunity to ask you point blank talaga as to what really happened. Pero ikaw, looking back, 3 years after, parang on hindsight talaga, what made you not go to top 5?
Honestly, I have no idea. I think that with pageantry, they're always like evolving. Like they always want something new, something fresh. And I think it really also comes down to fate. Um,
Mm-hmm.
until this day, like yesterday, I saw someone commented on my Instagram saying something like, I mean, people put, okay, so those posts that people make where they put two beauty queens together or three
Yes,
beauty,
yes.
and then they say like, who would have won if they were in top 5 or whatever. Like, okay, I get it. Like, it's interesting to talk about it, but then the people who like to comment say mean things, and it's like, oh, well, Rachel didn't do this, Rachel didn't do that. And for me, it's like I'm at peace with what happened. Like, it wasn't meant for me. It was Demi's night to shine, and she worked hard for it. She deserved to win. I just think that there's no point in still blaming different women for the mistakes that they made, or you know uh
Pero
but I
alam mo,
still,
top,
to
pero
this day,
alam mo,
it blows my mind. Why are people still getting mad at me about this? Like, I was the one on stage, not you.
mm-mm.
And all I know is that I did my best, because you're going for the Philippines, Dubai. You don't want to go and not do well. Everyone goes there like with their heart on their sleeve, and they will do whatever they can to win. But it just wasn't enough, and that's okay.
I have an answer for that. Yung parang it's not, bakit kayo nagagalit? Hindi naman kayo. I mean, hindi naman kayo nandun sa stage ako. Parang siguro butthurt yung pride natin as a beauty powerhouse nation. Tapos may mga fan wars pa. Alam mo naman, I don't wanna talk about it. May mga fan wars pa with different people overseas. So parang doon nagpatong-patong. Pero ikaw, so given with what you said, alam mo, to be honest, top 10 aside talaga, I think you've got one of the best evening gowns a Filipina representative showcase in the Miss Universe stage.
Thank
I don't
you.
care kung ano yung sinasabi nila na ganito, ganyan, pero ang ganda.
Thank you. It was like a collaborative effort. And it was also based on feng shui. So it was like water, ice. That was like the lucky element for that day and that time and everything. So that's the reason why we went with that color.
Mm-hmm.
And I was happy with my gown. No matter what people say, I liked my gown. I just wish that I had like, because you could kind of see the underwear through it. We didn't
Ah.
realize that because the lights were so strong, it would be seen. So I wish that I had skims.
Mm-hmm.
I just
What
bought
was it?
skims for my wedding dress, and it's the most amazing thing. And when I tried it on, I was like, this is what I needed during Miss Universe.
Okay, I see. Even your so ganun din collaborative effort din yung national costume mo, I assume.
Yeah, so the national costume was something that was kind of on the back burner for a while. Like we focused mostly on the gowns, and then it was kind of like a mad rush to get it finished. But we wanted something sexy. But the headpiece turned out to be really heavy, and so that's why I was holding it the whole
Yeah.
time, because like it would move, and that's no one's fault. But yeah.
You know,
We
although even though the national costume competition is a non-bearing one,
Mhm.
pero na-achieve niyo pa rin yung purpose niyo. Kasi Las Vegas, tapos super revealing nung costume. So parang na bumagay doon sa venue, sa setting na mala showgirl ang peg.
Yeah, that's also
Na-achieve.
something we had in mind.
So talagang ano naman din talaga. I mean, panalo pa rin naman. So you're happy with it, with everything that turned out.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, right after the pageant, I kind of was licking my wounds a little bit, feeling sorry for myself. But I'm sure everyone who was a part of that group felt exactly the same way, because they work their butts off and they give everything to that, and then it just wasn't meant to be. But that's fine. Bigger and better things are always ahead.
So ngayon, bibigyan kita ng chance 3 years after kasi hindi ka nga nakapasok sa top 5 until top 3. If you were to answer... No. This is just an easy question. No. You don't have to answer a Miss Universe worthy type of answer. Anything that comes out of your top of your head. So Jess Tolentino is asking if you were to answer the final question, top 3 actually. This is the top 3 common question. What quality in yourself are you most proud of, and how have you applied it? Tapos na siya, 27. How have you applied it during your time as Miss Universe Philippines?
What quality am I
What
most
quality?
Wow. I never even rewatched the Miss Universe from my year. But if I were to choose a quality that I was proud of, that I am still proud of, is individuality. I'm going back to my what I was talking about the whole time. And for me, it's still relevant now, because in a world where social media is so intense, it's so easy. Like you scroll for 2 minutes and it's like, oh my God, why don't I look like that? Why is her house like this? So for me, individuality is what I would be most proud of. And I think that the way that would have helped me in Miss Universe is because I was myself. It attracted girls who are like me, who have become my lifelong sisters now. And, individuality makes you stand out. So that's the trait or quality that I would say is the most important. And I thank you.
Great answer. But you know what? Come to think of it, yung advocacy mo ngayon, which is about celebrating one's individuality, is so relevant now in Miss Universe. That's why
Yeah.
you get to see the likes of Zoe Tunzi of South Africa winning Miss Universe kasi it's all about being unique and about who you are as a person on stage. She was
And
so different, she was so unique, 'di ba? So parang nagbabago na rin talaga yung ano talaga ng Miss Universe eh. And yun nga, yun yung parang naging ano eh, parang biggest parang siguro parang biggest um thing na sinabi against you na parang parang yung advocacy niya hindi ganun katindi like the others, pero looking now 3 months after marirealize mo talaga, you know what, Rachel was making sense during her time. Hindi lang natin na-appreciate yung sinasabi niya kasi we were so busy comparing her with the other girls, 'di ba?
yeah.
So parang in a way parang
It probably was my fault na parang I wasn't able to get my purpose or my advocacy or my point even across to people in a way that people would be able to grasp and understand what I was trying to say, I think.
yeah. Rafi Di Makulangan is asking here, is saying, sabi niya, I think the reason why everyone is still upset over the results back in 2017 is because we knew Rachel was gonna slay the moment she talks.
I was prepared, thanks to Tita Raj.
Yeah, yun na lang eh, konting kembot na lang eh. Super nasayangan lang kasi that was her forte.
Yeah, well, it's okay. It wasn't meant to be.
Okay, Gier Marshall is also asking, were you informed ba of how you guys fared during the finals? Like meron bang ni-release na official scores after the pageant or closed door parang reveal wala?
No.
Or
They
that
don't anything. But I mean, people were, obviously there was this whole thing after, and people were posting like the scorecards of the judges and stuff. I don't know how they got that. I don't know if it's true or if it's real. But us as candidates, nothing.
Okay, another question from a fan. Ito, super fan mo talaga. Minessage niya ako kanina when she learned that I was gonna have a live interview with you. MCMG says, hi, my favorite Miss Universe Philippines. Women use makeup to enhance facial features. Do you think it's appropriate for men to do the same?
I don't see why there's any issue at all with that. If women can do it, so can men. It's all about equality. And I mean, it's your body, it's your face. If you want to contour the heck out of your nose, do it. If it makes you happy, why not?
Exactly. Spoken like a true queen. Alex Villano of Rappler is asking you, what lessons from your experience in Miss Universe / Binibining Pilipinas would you like to share with today's aspiring queens, knowing the pressure that awaits them when a crown is placed on their heads?
My advice would be, like I said earlier, enjoy the experience, especially as a beanie when you have so many girls that you can share beauty tips with. Like for me, if I didn't have some of the girls like Angelique De Leon, I don't know what I would have done. She did my hair for me every single day. Some of the girls helped me with my makeup, and just being with them is so fun. Like being cooped up in the dressing room in Kia Theater, like at the time you're like, oh my god, when can we go home? But that's a really incredible experience, and you're gonna make amazing friends. So enjoy that, because once you win the crown, that's when the real work starts, and the pressure is 20 times more than your experience as a beanie. Grab it. Like literally the next day, I felt a weight on my shoulders already. It's incredible, the feeling, but it's also like it's intense.
Okay. So, ikaw naman, you've been a pageant contestant before and you're so used to being seen from head to foot, being subject under a microscopic lens. Lahat tinitignan talaga, lahat binubusisi. So, hypothetical question lang to. If you were competing now in Binibining Pilipinas or Miss Universe Philippines, what will you do during the COVID-19, during this crisis? Do you think okay na ba yung social media presence mo? Makokontento ka na lang ba doon? Or is there anything these girls can do pa? Like a partner with LGUs para to kasi ngayon kasi I asked this question kasi katulad nga niyo, di ba? We're in the middle of Miss Universe we're halfway through with the Miss Universe Philippines competition, rudely interrupted lang by the pandemic. So if you were a passion follower or enthusiast, anong klaseng transformation ang gusto mong makita sa mga aspiring beauty queens natin? Given your experience, gusto mo ba, nakikita mo na lagi sila may pasabog na photo shoot na ina-upload sa social media nila? Or would you want them to do something different, like being true to do something or be true to their advocacies? Do you get where I'm
Yeah,
where
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
coming
That's a
from?
good question, and it's a very good question actually. Um, well, I think that people need to realize, first of all, that COVID is very serious. People need to respect the law to not go out, and I think as much as possible, people should stay home. So it's hard for girls to go and do relief efforts because you're supposed to be staying home. But also I think that if the opportunity is there, and so long as they can follow proper protocols, I think that your job and your role as a beauty queen, it's your responsibility to help people around you. Like that's the whole point of an advocacy. Like they want someone who is caring and giving and just an all-around person. So if the opportunity is there and it's safe for yourself and for the people around you, then of course it would be fantastic to partner with LGUs. And then in terms of fans, you beauty queens need to realize that their fans are everything. Like you are nothing without the fans who bring you up and cheer you on. Like that's so important. um and so I think that you need to give them something. They're everyone is home and people want to see what you're doing. They're your fans. It's kind of like you obligation is the wrong word, but you know what I mean. You should share what's going on because people want to see what's happening because they're as invested in your journey as you are. So I think that, as if I were a Beanie Beanie or a Miss Universe Philippines candidate, I would probably do live sessions just to keep people engaged, and make sure people are safe. Mental health is a big thing at the moment. You want to make sure that people are okay as well. Um, yeah. So I would say if you can do something to help, then do it.
I'm curious, are you following this year's the inaugural Miss Universe Philippines pageant?
Uh, Not so much, to
No,
be.
wala kang yung parang lumabas lang sa feed mo, ay sino to, ang ganda niya.
I mean, of course, I see pictures like Eliza. She's gorgeous. She comes up on my feed a lot, and I think we also kind of run in the same circles. My brother's girlfriend, Patricia Henson, she's here in Camsor, and they're good friends.
Mhm.
So I hear from her, and then social media. But to be honest, I couldn't name all the candidates.
Yeah. What about sa Binibini? Are you also, so I assume hindi ka rin ganun ka-updated sa Binibini?
Honestly, not so much, but I when people post, I'll read about it, but it's not like what's she doing today, like what's she gonna wear, yung mga ganon. But I do know one of the candidates, Maureen Mon.
Oh, Maureen, yeah. She's also
So
from
I
KS.
yeah, I know her. I've met her recently. And I know that she at the moment is in Siargao.
Siargao!
She's been stuck there. And one of the things that she's been doing since she's not able to leave is she joined a friend of mine who started a community kitchen. It's called Siargao Community Kitchen. And because tourism is the main industry in Siargao, and with no planes, no boats, nothing, no one coming in, it's been really hard for the locals. And so my friend Alexa actually started this thing where they have been getting donations from friends and they prepare meals and hand it out to the local families. And I know that Maureen has been a huge part of that. So I guess that's an example of ways that you can help.
I see. Okay, someone's asking here, di pa makamove on sa Miss Universe experience mo. Did you
Go lang.
feel that you were a front runner during your time in Miss Universe? O sige, let's medyo maging specific tayo. Nung paalis ka dito, nung paalis ka papuntang Miss Universe, sino yung mga yung mga feeling mo matindi mong kalaban, yung sa feeling ko mga kalaban ko to, tapos post arrival yung parang na-confirm mo na okay, siya nga talaga. May mga ganun moments ka ba?
I think that if you were to search past interviews, the two girls that I always would mention were Demi, Miss South Africa, and Maria from Thailand. Those, anytime, I mean, obviously, every interview that I did in the lead up to Miss Universe, they asked me that question. And I was firm in my belief that those two were the top contenders in the group. And I was right.
Pero ikaw, did you feel nga, as the what the question was all about, did you feel na favorite ka nung Miss Universe sa Las Vegas?
I mean, I wouldn't say that I thought I was gonna win. I definitely don't. I'm not the type of person to think, okay, I'm gonna win this competition. But I think because of how amazing and supportive and loud the Filipino fans are, that definitely helped a lot. Like it put me on the radar from the get go. And I think it's the same for every Filipina representative. And if you talk to the other girls, they always say, like, you know, Philippines is always the most popular or one of the most popular candidates. And it's because of the fans.
May natandaan pala akong video. I remember. Yung may one activity kayo where you all guys were falling in line. I don't know, for a particular activity. Tapos I don't know, may kumuha ng video. Tapos parang the video was taken while Paula Sugart was calling you out of nowhere. And like, Miss Philippines, Rachel, Miss Philippines. And like the girls being, yung nahagip ng mga cameras, like, okay, saan na ba si Rachel? Parang it kind of felt, we felt like, okay, parang, oh my God. The president of the Miss Universe organization is on first name basis with Rachel. Parang,
yeah, I remember then when that video was circulating, but I think it was just like a spur of the moment. I don't remember exactly what was happening. But I don't think it's something that needs to be looked into too much.
Kasi you know naman how it is in social media, di ba? Everyone's super magnified. So any little detail talaga na talaga we really talk about it, we really scrutinized about it. So yeah, but having said that, ano pa yung mga pwede mong ma-reveal na interesting backstage moments during the competition? Like after the pageant ba dinumog ka ng mga Pinoy? Or may mga ganung moments ba? Or parang may mga nanabotage ng mga makeup among fellow contestants?
No, actually, you know, there was none of that. Going into the pageant, obviously, you know, all of the mentors, they always warn you, like, be careful of your stuff, keep it locked. And so I did, but a lot of the other girls were very, you know, like, we're literally backstage of our show. It was like rows and rows and rows of girls with their own mirror and their own station. And girls are running around doing their tan, doing their hair, getting their makeup done, wearing their earrings, everything. and everything just gets left out because it's just a mad rush backstage. It's crazy. But I don't think there was anything like that. I think more than anything, those moments showed how real the sisterhood is, because it's like, can you check, like, is my hair okay? Can you zip me? Can you hold this? Or I just, it was nice. It was intense, but it was nice, and I'm really glad I was able to experience that. Yeah.
Oh my God, Rachel, we've been talking for more than an hour now. 6 o'clock na. Right on the dot. Oh my God, we've been talking for an hour na. Oh my God, ang dami ko pa itatanong. So, sige.
Okay.
Oh,
Go, game lang.
okay. Dennis Nomora is asking, oh, is telling you na he loves all your straightforward answers so far.
Thanks.
Um, Ayun, ito. There's an interesting question from Ruby Rubiana. Can you tell us your experience during the closed door interview?
Oh, the closed door interview was actually really nice. I'm not sure why people put so much, like, I was really worried about the closed door interviews. Like, I had to be wearing, the outfit had to be kind of serious but still nice and sexy or whatever. So that's when I wore the gold jumpsuit, or the gold suit. And waiting outside was intense. Like, a few of the girls cried because they just, the buildup of anxiety or emotions or whatever it is while waiting for your turn, because it's a long wait. There's a lot of girls. And so that kind of scared me a little bit. But when you get inside, they're just people. And you just need to be yourself. Like, again, that's the importance of celebrating your individuality. Like, if you go into something like that, and you say things that aren't true, then of course you're going to be nervous, because you're trying to remember, like, oh, okay, I got to say I do this. I got to say this. But if you go in there and it's just like you're having a conversation, I think that they appreciate that much more, because they can see, like, you're not overthinking. If you're not overthinking, you're not making up stuff. You're being yourself. And I think it's refreshing for the judges, because can you imagine, they have to talk to how many girls? 92, 91 girls, like one after the other after the other. And they don't ask serious questions. They ask you, like, so what do you like to do on a Sunday? And then some people will ask you about your advocacy, but you talk to different judges. I think it was 3 stations. And I thought it was a really pleasant experience. And, actually before Catriona went, she called me and she asked me about the closed door interviews. And she said, like, what was the experience like? What do you do? What sort of questions do they ask? And when she called me for that, that's when I knew she's gonna win. Because
Talaga?
I mean, she went out of her way to know everything about every single event. And that was so impressive to me. Like, for me, I'm super mahiyain. Like, I never want to feel like I'm hassling someone. And so, I felt shy or a bit embarrassed to to message past winners and be like, hey, how do you do this? Or, hey, what do I do for this? So I think that's one of the main reasons why Catriona was such a standout, because she just knew what she wanted and she did whatever she had to do to achieve her goal, which was winning Miss Universe.
Okay. Someone's asking about your gown in Miss Universe again. Enzo Hernandez is asking, did you have a backup gown during your time in Miss Universe, or was it the only one?
For my gown, Sir Val made 2 gowns. He made a gold one, which I wore for the prelims, and then the silver one. And it was like at the time we weren't sure which one I was going to wear for which event. And then, you know, in the group chats, like with sila Tita Raj and stuff, we would send pictures and be like, so which one should I wear for which event? And then of course, you know, you have other gowns, but with the amount of love and effort and collaboration that went into those gowns by Val, like I was gonna wear a Val gown regardless of whether it was the gold one or the silver one.
I see. There was so much drama about that.
Oh my
gown.
God. Tell me about it. At the end of the day, it's a good thing because it created more noise.
Yeah, kasi parang, I don't know if it was true. Kasi rumors were flying around na parang, I don't know kung totoo yun, yung mga nababasa ko, yung mga gown leak, you were upset, ganyan. Parang, ganun ba talaga? Big deal talaga na kailangan top secret yung gown talaga sa Miss Universe. Talagang kailangan ang pag-grand reveal during the finals. May mga ganun no?
Yeah, I mean, in hindsight, like even if they did reveal the actual gown, it wouldn't have mattered. But at the time when emotions are all over the place, the pressure is crazy, the tiniest thing that doesn't go to plan, if the tiniest thing that doesn't go to plan happens, then it kind of throws off your whole zen juju. I mean, it's just not nice to feel that someone who you, I guess, supposedly trusted went and did something like that.
Ay nako, so much about the gown. Can we just focus on how amazing she looked every time she comes out in swimsuit? How do you feel na every time, 3 years after, lagi nila sinasabi, oh, Rachel has got one of the best bodies that we've ever sent to Miss Universe. Long legs forever.
Well, thank you to everyone who says that, first of all. Like a lot of hard work went into that. But honestly, it's kind of, even until now, it's like I feel pressured to have to maintain my body, especially because I host a show called Beached.
Yeah.
Like the people expect you to look good in a swimsuit. And so until now, 3 years later, I still work out almost every day and I still am careful about what I put into my body. But of course, it's a huge, huge compliment to me.
So feeling mo, nagko-compete ka pa rin sa Miss Universe? Strict pa rin ang diet, workout pa rin?
Not naman as intense, but you know, for Beached, I'm on TV and they say, you know, you're 2 times bigger than what you are in real life. So pressure pa rin, especially kasi Mark is my co-host.
Mm-hmm.
Ab machine.
Oh. Okay, let's move on to the last portion of the interview we're in. What's next for you?
Well, I guess
what's next for Rachel Peters?
That's like now, especially with COVID, more than ever, that's something that Migs and I have been discussing a lot. What's next for me is obviously we need to find a wedding date. And eventually, you know, the goal for me has always been, for as long as I can remember, to have a happy family. So, you know, hopefully in the near future, that's something we can look forward to. And yeah.
How many kids do you plan to have?
I have no idea. I'm happy with 2. Migs wants twins and then another one and then another one, but we'll see what happens.
Okay, so what has kept you busy? So apart from Beach, your TV show, you've also been helping out. You've been also busy with your business with your cafe business in Siargao, diba? So, kamusta naman yung business mo sa Siargao given this time? Super apektado ka rin ba nung nangyayari?
Super. The business, I mean, before COVID, everything was great. Bake has been open since as long as Binibining Pilipinas, because that's when I opened it. So that was going great. And my brother and I partnered and opened up rooms for Airbnb. So that's basically what I've been spending most of my time on are my businesses. They're my babies. But COVID has hit us really, really hard. Siargao is an island. If people aren't coming in, there's no one there to spend the money. So it's been really hard. It's been pretty stressful because I have 11 staff members, and of course I want to make sure that they're okay more than anything at this time. And so it's been difficult to know the right thing to do. So at the moment we're open, but obviously under quarantine guidelines, like no one's allowed inside. And it's slow, but everything will be okay. Hopefully, it's not going to take until next year for things to go back to normal, because it's not just me who's affected in Siargao. There are so many people who rely on tourists coming in, and it's been a really tough time for everyone there.
I see. That's really tough. Marami bang na-stranded ng mga tourists sa Siargao right now?
Actually, at the beginning, yes. Pero they organized like sweeper flights for all of the tourists that were stranded there. So I think it's been 2 months. I don't think there's anyone who's stuck there unwillingly. I mean, it's a good place to be stuck under quarantine. So I think there are still a few tourists, but not enough for things to run as normal.
Okay. Kasi naisip ko rin, sorry to dampen your mood, pero kasi 'di ba given this pandemic, how do you feel na kasi 'di ba your family is also engaged in concerts and events?
Yeah.
Yeah, so alam mo yun, parang how do you feel that sabi ng mga experts natin na it's the entertainment slash events industry and the tourism sector who will be the least industries who will be able to recover from this pandemic. So, anong ma-advise mo? Parang, anong masasabi mo doon?
I mean, it sucks. I mean, there's so many people who have been affected by this. But I guess you just have to remind yourself that it's not you. It's not just you. It's everyone who is having a hard time right now. And I guess you need to use this time in isolation to be more creative. Yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I was watching a live stream, the first one that I've seen. It was a fashion show for Rahul Laurel's birthday. So he had a whole show, like a whole fashion show live streamed on Facebook. And I guess that for the foreseeable future, that is how we need to adapt. Like, there's no choice. You can't do anything about it. So you got to be smart about the ways in which you get your businesses up and running again. But with the events, I mean, that's a hard one. But then there's always lives.
So with that, so I assume you're kind of ready, embracing for the new normal.
Yeah, I guess. We all have to be, whether we like it or not. Hopefully things will all go back to normal soon.
Okay, last few questions before we wrap it up. Super, and I mean, alam mo, na-miss ka nilang lahat if you're reading the messages right now. I love Bake. Who says it? Ruby is saying, I love Bake Siargao. Been there twice. I love all the food there.
Thank you so much.
Hindi pa si Ruby, natalo na ako, hindi pa nakakarating doon. Advance best wishes daw sa inyo ni Sir ni Gov Biggs. Dennis is saying, agree, she has the best body. She really rocked the swimsuit competition. So best Miss Universe Philippines body, diba? Mm-hmm. I love how Shem Station is saying, I really love how Rachel is handling all your questions.
Thanks,
Si
Sha.
Kathy may tanong sa'yo, who's your closest friend and candidate sa Miss Universe journey mo?
Um, so after, do you remember some of the candidates, like a select few of the candidates came to the Philippines in January?
Yes, yes, yes. I was there. Yeah. I
So
covered you guys.
yes, of course you did. So if you remember, Miss USA, Miss Canada, and Miss Malaysia, they all came to Siargao afterwards. They
Yes.
did. And so out of all the girls, I would say that those are the three who I stay in touch with the most. But you know, Bunga was amazing. She was the best roommate, and we really got to know each other well. It's such a shame. She was supposed to come to the wedding with her husband, but it's such a shame. Every time I'm in Bali, we miss each other. So she goes to Bali every now and then, but she's based in Jakarta. So Bunga was a really good friend of mine. Of course, like as your roommate, you get to know the girl so much better. Um, and yeah, that was my core group of girls. And we also went to Bangkok together, so we spent time like with Miss Spain, Miss Egypt. They're all
Mm-hmm.
amazing. They all have such a great story to tell.
Um, a very good friend of mine who happens to be also a great stylist, Juan Martinez, is also commenting you. Rachel, you're the ultimate bombshell.
Thank you.
She can compete again
Oh, I
anytime.
love that.
Yeah. So last two questions, Rachel. Since we are in the inaugural Miss Universe Philippines or Binibining Pilipinas are halfway through right now na ano lang talaga ng pandemic. So um if someone were to ask your advice, what's your most important advice to anyone competing in Binibining Pilipinas or to our future representative in the Miss Universe?
um, I would say listen to your mentors. They know what they're talking about. Take as much advice as you can get, but at the end of the day, stick to what you feel is right for yourself. Um, because it can get so overwhelming with everyone giving you advice, everyone saying, "Oh, you should do it like this, or wear this, or do this." Um, you can just get lost in all of it and completely lose yourself and your sanity. So I would say follow that little voice in your head and your heart, because at the end of the day, you know yourself the best. Stay true to yourself and have fun. And be prepared also. You have to like there's no such thing as a quiet moment when you are preparing for or in a pageant, because you need to make sure that you have all the stuff you need. Like it's incredible how much preparation goes into one event. Like you have to make sure you bring your, you know, when the girls have like the toes going over, there's an easy fix for that. You put gel pads in your foot, in your heels. So that's something you think about. You got to think about bringing your tan or timing your tan so that when you wear your clothes, it doesn't fall off. So always be prepared for anything.
Okay, last few. May nagtatanong dito. Is there a plan for you guys to have a reunion someday?
The Miss Universe girls?
Yeah, kayong magkakaibigan, kayong mga mini reunions kasi yung batch nila MJ they're so close knit. Every year meron silang pa-reunion everywhere.
Well, our batch have had a few reunions, like Bangkok. We all met up there. And I know a bunch of the girls went to Spain or somewhere together. That's something that I didn't join. The most recent reunion that was supposed to happen was the wedding. But hopefully next year, we're trying to plan something in a place that's easily accessible for everyone, so we can get as many of the girls together as possible.
And the husbands too. O girls lang talaga.
Girls lang. I can't.
Oh yeah,
She's gonna find
distraction.
everyone so gorgeous. So
On that note, thank you, Rachel, so much for gracing our interview. Super. Thank you so much for
much.
making this so special to all of us here on Sash Factor.
I had a
Any
great time.
message to all your fans and
Go lang.
any message to all your fans and supporters who
Well,
have been, missing you?
I just want to say I miss all of you too, and I'm so happy. Thank you so much, Adam, for having me. I'm so happy that we were able to answer that I was able to answer some questions that you guys had about that the whole Miss Universe experience. And more than ever, I hope you're all well and safe, and we will get through this. And at the end of it, we should all meet up and
Oh yeah,
celebrate.
wait, I forgot to ask pala. You have a charity program right now, 'di ba? That has something to do with the pandemic, with the relief efforts that you've been doing at this time. Can you tell us more about it? Oh shucks, I forgot to ask.
Okay, so
This is
a group of friends from my childhood. We're all half British, half Filipina. So they are tapping, not so much tapping, but they're focusing on like a small group actually that many people don't even realize. Um, so there are a lot of Filipino nurses in the UK. I think they're probably the first or second largest community of nurses in the UK. And today, they just recorded the 42nd death of a Filipino NHS worker. So there are, obviously, when people pass during these times, they're not able to go home. So what we're doing is we are moving the equivalent of the distance between the UK and the Philippines to symbolically bring them home. So a lot of these people, their families are still here in the Philippines, and they probably haven't seen them for a long time. And so what we're doing is we're exercising, running, swimming, whatever, a total of 11,000 kilometers to bring them home symbolically. And the money that we raise will be given to the families to help them because their breadwinners can no longer do that for them.
I'm curious lang, how do you do the 11,000 kilometers thing given the enhanced quarantine right now? So ano lang talaga, parang mini-measure nyo lang yung ano nyo,
Yeah,
yung
so basically they've done like infographics of, say, for example, 50 sit-ups is equivalent to 1 kilometer. And then parang may mga teams. There's, I think, 11 or 12 teams. And then within each team, there's 10 people. Medyo mahirap i-explain. There's like a lot.
yeah.
So my team is like the people who I'm here quarantining with, and my parents who are playing golf in Thailand. And so each team of 10 needs to do 110 kilometers over 3 weeks. So you can do sit-ups. You can, I have abs now because I've been doing so many sit-ups.
So you're hitting two birds with one stone. Not
Exactly.
only you get to help people around, but you